Hey everyone, I'm GB or Goldenboy. If you happen to have been subscribed to this channel for a super long time, I am so sorry. And if you're just stumbling upon this for the first time, welcome. Because I am a dude that's been commentating and working in esports for the better part of a decade. I've done things all across the gaming industry. I figured I'd just give my thoughts and opinions on the games industry that I've worked on for such a long time, share some insider perspective, things like that. And I thought of a really good name to call this. I like to call it shooting from the hip. Pew, pew. Stupid name aside, thank you for dealing with that. Let's talk about Splitgate 2, shall we? So why do I want to talk about Splitgate 2? Well, it made some headlines recently for good and bad reasons, but I wanted to talk about it because I find the game to be rather fascinating. Splitgate 2 is an amalgamation of pretty much every single modern FPS game come to one conveniently microtransaction wrap package. It borrows the elements of live service games. It does class-based gameplay. It's got battle royale mode. It's got all the different tropes that you'd come to expect from a class-based FPS game. Class abilities, super abilities, class utility, even individual class weapons that look differently. And then on top of that, you obviously have characters, your different classes that have all these different skins. So there's more opportunities for you to have variety with character skins. On that front, it's literally all you've come to know and love of the live service multiplayer genre. That's kind of where I wanted to take this conversation because I got a bone to pick with a lot of this. Now, look, I'm not trying to dogpile onto Splitgate 2 and the 1047 development team because, in fact, I'm a big fan of the game. I want to be very clear here. I really, really enjoy the game. I just think that when you come out of the gate so strong and say, well, firstly, wearing a hat that just wasn't a good call, that says make FPS great again, and then you announce a battle royale mode, which is the thing that has literally affected arena FPS games. I just think that you really missed the mark and didn't read the room. Now, before you jump down my throat and get those little angry thumbs ready to go, let me go ahead and explain some things real fast from my perspective and what I've seen and what I think is probably going to happen here. And in order to do that, let's talk about Splitgate 2 as a video game. What does it do right? What does it do wrong? And ultimately, does it bring FPS games back to its glory days? The short answer on that last one is no, but I have my reasons. So I had mentioned previously that you have all these different tropes that come from other modern FPS games like class systems and ultimate abilities, so on and so forth. But the thing that Splitgate 2 does incredibly well, that it borrowed from these games, and I would say it actually improved upon, was the gunplay. The way that the guns feel, it's awesome. It's absolutely smooth. It's buttery. The weaponry feels like it has impact. When you use some of the super weapons, they feel like you're holding actual like nuclear bombs in your hands. The BFB is awesome. The sound effects are great.
Dame tu culo, papi. Ven aquí. Ay, qué bueno.
Fubar rocket is amazing. The gravitas is wild.
Hey, look. Yeah, no, it's not gonna let me reload it.
Oh my god.
We've got 2 zones.
Gun is crazy.
Destiny gun.
Oh my, like there's some really cool power weapons and there are also some great weapons in general. The suite of weaponry is really, really fun to use, from the carbine to the burst rifles, submachine guns, the assault rifle especially. They're all super fun to use. And ultimately, when you're talking about an FPS game, that's the thing you gotta nail. That's step one. You gotta nail the fun factor first and foremost. And Splitgate 2 definitely nails the fun when it comes to the shooting. Now, another area where I think they nailed the fun, but I think that some people might have some issue with it, is in its movement, which borrows things from games like Apex Legends or even like Titanfall. You also got some Tribes inspiration in there as well. And I think that it does a good job of taking these elements, making them feel unique, and not making you feel limited as the player. One thing that I could definitely say about Splitgate 1 was that when you were running around the map, you knew that the only real way to get around was was through the portals. You wanted to get to this other area that was a bit more inaccessible, you needed to port over there. Now in Splitgate 2, there are ways for you to be able to move around the map with no problem and access areas. And some areas do require you to get to with portals, obviously, because it's the whole point of the game, but it's not as punishing as it once was. And again, it's because of the movement. You can zip and slide around the map and do some really, really cool plays. The inspiration doesn't just end there, though, because the game pretty much pulls from practically every successful FPS game. Valorant's UI system that we also saw in there, Fortnite's menu system that we also see right as you open the game. None of this is particularly shocking because this is the state of the modern games industry. This is the state of the modern live service FPS games industry, more specifically. You can have a problem with it. You cannot have a problem with it. I'm just pointing out that this is kind of sort of the trend and what's always going to be the desire from the audience, so long as the audience keeps saying that this is what they want. And even though those parts that they took from all these different games can sometimes feel uninspired, I gotta commend them because they took all these concepts, brought them together, and made them very fun. But the thing is, though, is that the map design, while good, isn't sticking out to me. They feel like playgrounds where you could just run around and do things and not maps that have personalities of their own. And look, this is a thing that I think I might be very much in the minority about caring here. So take this all with a grain of salt, but that's kind of just the thing that stuck out to me as I'm playing the game. I'm like, man, I don't remember what the hell the name of that map was. There was the sewer looking map. There was the stadium looking map, which I think is called Stadium. Maybe even the big team battle maps that they have in Onslaught, which is a mode we'll talk about in a second. That also just the maps feel very because it has a very clean, minimalistic, simple design. And if anything, it looks a little bit more like Marathon. In fact, I even see a lot of Bungie influences in the art style because you could see it in some of the character designs as well. And I know that someone's going to say, yeah, but GB, like nothing's original. There are no original ideas these days. And you're kind of sort of right, but it's very clear what this game is trying to be. It's trying to be the FPS for everyone. And maybe that's going to work. Maybe. But I have seen in the past games try to check the box for everyone, and sometimes they end up leaving all those spaces blank. For example, they have this awesome 24-player mode, or at least it could be awesome, and it's called Onslaught. But instead, it's just giant Splitgate. Where are the vehicles? Where are my tanks? Where are my mongoose type vehicles? Give me some futuristic crap to ride in so that I could zip around the map and use portals and do cool things. That's what I was hoping for. That's where I was hoping to see the innovation and the physics mechanics and the porting mechanics and what you could do there. But instead, it's just giant Splitgate, which again isn't bad, but okay. The arena modes are your standard fare, and a lot of them are fun. There are some unique ones. I think Split Ball is really, really fun, and that is probably the mode that I would like to see front and center in competitive because I think it's a really good, unique game mode to Splitgate, and I think they should lean into the uniqueness whenever they get an opportunity to. I just wish that they took that time and put them into, designing vehicles rather than a Battle Royale game. But the Battle Royale game that they did introduce is good. It's enjoyable. It does have some moments. It follows the Rebirth Fortnite reload system where you can come back if your teammate stays alive. That part is kind of cool. It does throw things off a little bit when you take out 3 members of a team and the 4th one runs away. You try and get in there, but you just didn't get there in time. So the guy spawns right in front with a full AR, and then before you know it, you're absolutely cooked. That part, I'm kind of hit or miss on it. But I will say that when we played it, it was fun and I enjoyed it. The critiques I do have about the BR outside of, if I'm being transparent, just its existence, is that I just feel like the map, it's just too big. It's just too much going on. It takes these 5 maps and combines them into one giant super map. But the issue is, with the way that the game is right now and the way that people are dropping, they're either going to the first zone or the hot zone, and that's very much it. I'm sure the stats are showing something a little bit different, but in my gameplay experiences, this is what I felt. If I wanted to wait all the way till the end and drop, I found maybe one team, but at most it was just that, and that was it. And then I'd have to go to the next zone in order to get some fights. So I think if you maybe slimmed it down. Instead of 5 maps combined into one super map, you just do 3 maps and you make like more of a lane type map. I don't know. That's just my perspective, my opinion. It didn't deter my experience, but it was definitely something that, I don't know, just felt like it was a little noticeable, you know? If there is one word I can use to describe Splitgate, it is potential, because this game has loads of potential. It has potential to really capture an audience of gamers across a variety of different platforms. And it also has potential to be a really good esport. Oh yeah, baby. You knew we were going to talk about it. Can Splitgate 2 be an esport? Yes, but not right now. It doesn't need to have crazy structure. I swear if I see a Splitgate Pro League, I'm going to lose my mind. That should not happen. And instead, it should just be independently ran, small tournaments that are supporting the grassroots throughout the community. Right now, you need people to just compete. And you don't need to make closed experiences like tournaments and leagues and signing with one particular company exclusively so that they run all of your esports. No, what you need is you need grassroots, independent community support. Or not. That's up to you. That's how I would do it personally, because I've seen this song and dance time and time again. And when you're a live service game in basically a shark pit of all these other live service games, you need something that is going to keep people coming back. But for right now, you got to just build the foundation, and the foundation is laid out with grassroots. So I guess, like, in closing, I hope I didn't come across like super douchey on Splitgate 2, because I actually, again, I like the game. I think it's a really good game. My issues mostly stem from things that are outside of the game itself. It's the bold claims of making FPSs great again, which it doesn't. It does a good job of taking a bunch of fun ideas and combining it, but it doesn't revolutionize FPS games the way that I think that they think it does. That said, it's still highly, highly enjoyable. It has a future. It has potential. It has an opportunity to really shake up the FPS marketplace. But I do think that it make it just a little bit harder when you do such a great job running a really clean race, and then you just stumble on the finish line. Damn. Hate to see it. Good luck, guys.